Now we'll be discussing impact of lowering marginal tax rate for upper income individual. The figure shows why lowering the marginal tax rate for the highest income group may be desirable. The figure depicted the budget constraint facing the highest income group with individual in the grouping choosing point E, right? The revenue is raised is the amount in the is the amount of EA. If we now lower the marginal tax rate to 0 for those who have income above YA, the government still collect the same revenue but with a lower marginal tax rate. These individuals work harder and are still better off. The new budget line constraint is the dotted line E-C, and they choose point E- on the higher difference curve. Thus, the tax reform is a operative improvement. The rich are better off and no one is worse off. If instead of imposing a zero marginal tax rate beyond YA, we had imposed a low in marginal rate. The higher income individuals would still be better off, but there would be additional tax collection, which could be used to reduce taxes on the middle class. Or increase subsidies for the poor. All individual could be better off. Now we'll be discussing differential taxation. The government imposes a huge array of taxes on various commodities. From airline ticket to tires to gasoline to perfume. Taxes that are imposed at different rates on different commodities are called differential taxes. Some of these taxes, such as the airline ticket tax, are designed as benefit tax, that is to make those who benefit from airline travel pay for the cost of the air traffic control system and airports. Others, such as taxes on gasoline, tobacco, and alcohol, are partially designed as corrective tax to ameliorate some of the negative externalities they generate, such as traffic congestions and air pollution from automobiles. Finally, some taxes, such as the tax on perfume or luxury taxes, intended to increase the redistribution nature of tax system. In this section, we address two key questions. First, if the government can impose taxes on income tax to redistribute income, as in case in many developed countries, what rate should it impose on the different commodities? Second, if the government can impose on income tax to redistribute income, should it also impose tax on different commodity different ways? The two questions turn out to have markedly different answers. Ramsey, Texas. We begin with an earlier question posed by the Cambridge economist Frank Ramsey. Ramsey was not concerned with the redistribution, only with efficiency, but he assumed that the government could not impose a lump sum tax, and hence it had to raise revenue through commodity taxes. The question he asked was what is the least distortionary pattern of taxes? For instance, should every government be taxed at same rate, in which case the tax is just a tax on income? That was the answer suggested by those who simply wanted to count distortion. Such a tax would have only one distortion. Ramsey showed not only that was wrong, but also that there was a simple uh, formula for the optimal tax rate. The commodity taxes that minimize the deadweight loss are called Ramsey tax. This figure shows the solution to optimal commodity tax problem. Part A depict the deadweight loss as a fraction of the tax rate imposed on commodity. Part B shows the revenue raised as functions of the tax rate imposed on the commodity, which is I. And from these two diagrams, we can calculate at each tax rate the ratio of the increase in the deadweight loss to the increase in the tax revenue from raising the tax a little bit, that is the marginal deadweight loss from raising an extra dollar of revenue from a tax on a commodity. Notice that we have drawn the curve not only to the excess burden increases as the revenue raised increases, but also the extra deadweight from raising an extra dollar of revenue increase with the tax rate. This follows from the fact that the deadweight loss increases with the square tax rate.